Here we have the double loin section of Scotch lamb. It's cut from the carcass, this being the head end and this being the back leg end. And just explain where we actually cut between these joints. I've cut here between the 6th and 7th rib from the head end, and that allows me just to clip this little white line of cartilage, which is the blade bone cartilage of the shoulder. The more of that cartilage you get in this end of the loin, the more of the shoulder you're actually getting onto that chop. So between the 6th and 7th rib, straight through, gives me the ideal cutting off point on the rib section. And I turn this round, and if you can see that little white tip of cartilage there, that is where I cut between the 1st and 2nd lumbar vertebrae, and that then just clips the tip of the hip bone, which is the chump part of the leg. So cutting at those two reference points gives me a uniform middle or double loin. As this has the loin either side, it would be centrally sawn down the middle to give me two individual loins. I'm just going to prepare this as a double piece and break it down into a rib section and a lumbar section. But to start with, I'm just going to do a little bit of trimming. We have a little bit of the skirt muscle that will be taken out, just further trimmed, and can be used for our lamb dice or mince. And then I'm just going to remove this center line of fat and associated glands. This is where the kidneys have laid in the animal, so the kidney fat. It's normally fine and crumbly, which is in our beef situation, this would be our beef suet. So just removing that fat on the internal side. And then that gives us a clean line to see right down the centre. So if I was sawing this into two separate loins, I would follow that centre line carefully. But to separate it as a loin lumbar section and the rib section, I'm going to use the natural joints of the animal as my cutting guide. And here we have the cartilage discs between the vertebrae. And if I go through this one here and cut straight across, that will leave me all this rib section, and the rest will be the lumbar section. So putting the knife carefully into the center, cutting through that disc, following through that bone. Nice clean cut. So having cut through at the head of the ribs, through the cartilage disc, we've separated the double loin into our rib section and our lumbar section of the loins.